What's up, guys? It's your boy Quesadilla Padilla here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Raspberry Pi. So, in front of us here, we have a Raspberry Pi 3B, and then here we have a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. I'm going to push those to the side for a second because I want to talk about the cases. So, in front of you guys here, we have these cases made by this company called Retroflag. They make some excellent cases. This one here in particular is the Genesis case. As you can see, it looks just like a Genesis Mini. This volume rocker here, basically, it just pops that open so you can store extra SD cards in there. It basically reroutes your Pi so you can have your two USBs in the front. I'm going to open this up, and we're going to be doing an installation in this video as well, guys. A lot of people are intimidated by the Raspberry Pi. They think that it's a complicated system, but in reality it isn't. Let's pop that open. So this is what this one looks like on the inside. So I am going to be opening up these other two boxes and showing these off as well, and then we're going to be off to our installation. So this one here, this is the Super Famicom. And look at that. Looks just like a Super Famicom Mini. The power button works. Reset as well. The eject button just basically opens that up so you can store some extra SD cards as well. Inside, it reroutes your USBs to the front and your HDMI and micro USB into the back. So this is what it looks like on the inside. Again, guys, it looks pretty intimidating, but we will be doing an installation in this video. As you can see, it's going to be extremely easy. Let's close this one to the side. And lastly, let's show off this SNES one. This one is a little bit different in that it has a cartridge which is non-functional. It's just a magnet that hangs on top of your case, which makes it look like an SNES with a case. I mean, with a cartridge on top. So this one, guys, same as all the rest. The USBs are rerouted to the front. On and off. Reset. And the eject basically does the same. You can just store more cards in there. There's that cartridge I was talking about. I'll push that to the side. Let me put this together. I'll put that to the side for now. But this cartridge there just sits there on top with a magnet, so looks pretty cool in my opinion. It's not going to fall off. It's attached with the magnet. Alright, so let's get on to the installation part. Alright, one thing to note, guys, it clearly states on here, please remove the SD card before installing the Raspberry Pi. The reason for that is that if you put your card in now and install this in there, when you're gonna go try to close the case, it's gonna snap your SD card in half. So, heed warning to this. Please remove the SD card before installing the Raspberry Pi. So, pay close attention to this, guys. Let's go on to the installation. So, this Raspberry Pi here already has pre-installed some heat sinks. They don't necessarily come installed. This one was already installed. Let me show you what a Raspberry Pi originally looks like when you come. So this is what the Raspberry Pi 3 would look like without the heat sinks. Actually, this one's a little bit different because this one is the 3B plus. This is the 3B. But the layouts are pretty much the same. You're going to want to put your heat sink there as well as a heat sink there. And they do come provided with the Pi. Let's install this. We're going to pop that open. One thing also to note, guys, these being enclosed, they do tend to run a little bit hot. So you're going to want to buy a little fan. I will try to leave all the links in the, underneath the description for you guys. But if you can find a kit that already comes with the fan, that's a big plus. So we're going to start off by installing the fan. And the fan basically just pops in that little slot right there. So we're going to pop in the fan. And it pops in like so. So as if you can see here on this switchboard here, there's an area there that says fan. So these two little prods here are for the fan. So you have positive and negative. Red is positive. So you're going to want to pop that in to the red prod. And then black is negative. So you pop that in like so. So step one is already done. We have our fan in. Secondly, we're going to want to grab our Pi and let's try to see this configuration here first. Looks like it's going to be this way. This one is actually a little bit different than the other ones. So this one, this SNES one, just pops in like that. So you're going to want to put in these USBs prior to putting them in. Let's do that. I don't think the order matters and what you're putting these USBs in. Basically what all this is doing is it's rerouting the USBs to the front. But you'll also be left with two USBs and the Ethernet here on the side, guys. So that goes in there like so. Forgot to do one thing. Let's pull this cord out. Now, let's take a quick look at the instructions. I already know where these go in. but for the video purpose, let's show you guys. So here it states to put them on the last row of the GPIOs. So let's go ahead and do that. They pop in just like that. Make sure it's all nicely snug. Now, on to the screws. One sec. So the kit includes some screws for you to put your Raspberry Pi. So as you guys can see, there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to want to secure our Pi down. One screw in. There. For video purposes, I'm only putting 2. You can go ahead and put all 4 if you want. But my Pi is not moving. It's not going anywhere, guys. Let's put this flap back in the side. Another thing to note is you're going to want to make sure that the power is always on the off. There we go. Now, let's try to bend these as best as we can to make that fit. Alright, there we go. So let's pop in these screws on the bottom, guys. One sec, guys. All right. One quick thing to note, guys. You're not gonna want to put any screws on these top, because unfortunately, you're gonna need that to screw on the bottom. That's why the case wasn't closing. Alright, so looks like she's going to close nicely. Let's put first screw in there. Okay, go in this room. Okay, use your telekinesis power to lift those objects. I don't see a telephone. No. It's like a mind power. Hit the red light. There it goes. Guys, there you go. That's the first installation to this one. On to the next one. Alright guys, so here is the installation for the Super Famicom one. Let's pop her open real quick. Again, fan is going to go in there. Fan popped right in. Here is the two little prods for the fan, negative and positive. So again, positive, whoop, so negative is black and positive is red. We got that installed. Push this to the side. Let's get our Pi in there. Okay. Let's secure that Pi.
So, I finished my first level last night. How far are you, Alex? Does it look like I got any levels done last night? Oh my god, crazy. Don't tell me your roommates did that to you. Yeah, it was my roommates. They're crazy. They're crazy. They tied me up. I was like one of those calves at the rodeo, all helpless. And you know what? Just when I was about to scream for the police, I came. And that felt nuts. So hot. Yeah.
Hey, you guys. Hey, you take a look at that for me. Whoa, Alex, what happened?
There was a fire, and I was trying to save it from this baby. And no, he's banging his three roommates. They tied him up last night. Crazy orgies like all week.
Okay. So we got that secure in there.
No, we're not. You literally just
I fucked up, guys.
Smart, considering you work with your hands.
You're gonna wanna put these USBs prior to securing this Pi in there. 1 sec.
I have this very serious deadline.
Alright, so we got those screws out of there. Now let's properly install this, guys. So you're gonna want to put these USBs in prior to putting that board down.
Hello.
And again, guys, I don't believe it matters what order you put these USBs in. It's more or less just rerouting them to the front.
Just thinking about my game. How's that going?
Alright, 1 second, guys. Alright, we got our USBs installed. Now, our GPIOs basically just go down here on this end here, guys. Make sure that they fully go in.
Antiques Roadshow. Oh, it's great. People taking crap.
Okay. Now let's secure our Pi down.
I'm an antique. Yes.
So, ladies, I kind of need to use the television.
Go read your Playgirl or something.
$4,000 for a video mod?
Ridiculous.
So I'm gonna push those cords to the side.
Hey, Jacob, it's Alex. Oh, shit, look, I need you to do me. You're not tricking off my dad. Very. I really need your help. Do you think you can do some of my levels? What? No, I can't need to. Look, my roommates won't let me get in and work with them. They're insane. They won't stop watching porn. I can't.
Alright,
Your dad did me over.
let's secure these screws to the back, guys. 1 second.
Well, can you at least go first so I can see?
Alright, so I got the screws in. And this is what the finished product looks like. As you can see, it looks just like a Famicom Mini. And these are pretty awesome, guys. The SD card goes in here. You can pull these tabs off so you can get into your other two USBs as well as your Ethernet. This here is the card for the micro SD. So 1 second. All right, another thing to note, guys, is that these Raspberry Pis, they require an appropriate amount of wattage to run. So you're gonna want to use a 5 volt or 5.1 volt output on your power cord. Otherwise, you're probably gonna get like a little signal that states that like a little lightning bolt. It means you're under voltage. And it may damage your Pi. So you're going to want to go with the appropriate voltage. A lot of these Pis come, if you buy the Raspberry Pi, some of these kits already come with the AC adapter. But if it doesn't, don't worry, because these AC adapters, they pretty much go for about $7 to $8. Alongside with the Raspberry Pi, you're going to want to get yourself a micro SD card. You can go with anything from a 32 gigabyte all the way up to a 200 gigabyte. It depends on what you're looking for. If you are looking to make your own image, meaning that you're going to load your own ROMs and all that stuff, then I would probably go with a lesser card. Depending on how many ROMs you have. If you are going to go with like a pre-made image one, some of these already have, these pre-made images already have ROMs, they have video snaps, and they have box art. So some of that stuff takes a lot of space. So you're going to want to get anything from 64 to 200 gigs if you're going to get a pre-made image. And these images, it already states how many gigs you're going to need. So here we have a 128 gig card. Okay. Good thing about the Pis is that any USB controller will work. Here I have a Xbox 360 controller, a generic one. Here I have this Logitech PS3 stylish control. Again, it is USB. And Retroflag themselves, they also make like SNES, Genesis, and Nintendo controllers, all USB based. Alongside with the controllers, some of the accessories that you can get as well is you can also even get a Wii sensor bar, a USB Wii sensor bar, which will allow you to play some light gun games on your Pi 3. So some images out there have light gun games such as Terminator, Duck Hunt, Area 51, Time Crisis. So all you need is pretty much this USB sensor bar and a Wii controller, which a lot of us should have at our house. If not, they're not that expensive. And yeah, you can pretty much have a arcade experience at home. So I'm going to be hooking up one of these to the TV, showing you some gameplay. So bear with me 1 second, guys. Alright guys, there we go. I got it hooked up. I apologize for the shakiness. Again, that's what she looks like. Alright guys, this image is by We're Dirty Gaming. Big shout outs to We're Dirty Gaming. So at Atari 2600 here, we are looking at 648 games. Atari 7800, we're looking at 58 games. Atari Lynx, we are looking at 76 games. Wonder Swan Color, we are looking at 84. PC Engine with 274. TurboGrafx 16 with 94. TurboGrafx CD with 5. Super Graphics with 5. Nintendo Game & Watch with 55. Virtual Boy's coming in at 24 games. Game Boy with 566. We have some Game Boy hacks with 19. Game Boy Color at 535. Game Boy Advance at 1022. Some more Game Boy Advance hacks with 26. I also have DS games in here, 181 of those. Some good old NES, 791. Some hacks for the NES with 11. SNES, 788. SNES hacks with 37. N64, I only have 6 games on here. Why only 6, Edwin? The Pi 3 doesn't run N64 games that great. So what games do I have on my Pi folder? I have the Ocarina of Time. I have Mario Kart 64, Mega Man 64, Mario 64, another Mario 64. I believe this is the Mario 64 hack, the Odyssey one, as you can see there. And then I have Super Smash. Let's continue with Game Gear. We're looking at 249 games. Game Gear hacks, we are looking at 4. The SG-1000, we're looking at 68. Sega Master System with 281. Good old Sega Genesis with 784. Some Genesis hacks with 192. 32X with 36 games. Sega CD, I have 13. Dreamcast, I got 4 of them. Let's see what 4 games we have on the Dreamcast folder. We are looking at Crazy Taxi, Capcom vs. Marvel, or Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Power Stone, and Sonic Adventure 2. Let's keep it moving. I got Neo Geo Pocket with 40. I have 146 Neo Geos, 293 PSP Minis. I'm looking at 67 PlayStation games, 2,361 arcade classics. Here's that light gun folder I was telling you guys. Here I have 41 games. Let me show you what some of these light gun games are. So, for example, there's Alien 3, there's Area 51. So, if you guys are interested, please let me know in the comment, and I'll gladly let you know where to get this image. We have some ports. We have Steam is supported as well. Chromium is a web browser, as you guys know. Kodi is in here as well. Pixel's another web browser. That's the power. And that's the setup. Basically, your options and all that stuff. Take another look. That's what it looks like. Alright. This is your boy Edwin. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like in the comment. If this is your first time watching a video, please subscribe. Watch you guys on the next one. Peace.